giant picture of an alligator because we're going to talk about the medulla oblongata, and I think about if you're going to be a hunter, this is a good. This guy's got some. You know what? Got an alligator bigger than his boat. But the medulla oblongata is really just it's a road mark, or it's a landmark for doctors to where the brain ends and the spinal cord begins. So the medulla oblongata, meaning it's oblong, shaped like an oval track, is the end of the brain and the beginning of the spinal cord. So that's just a anatomical reference. I'll talk about that later. I mentioned that. How big? Well, there's been a couple television shows about the 6-gill shark that lives at like 4,000 feet. Most sharks have 7 gills. These have 6, and they're like 40 or 50 feet long. The lepidopter would swallow this massive thing. Okay. All the origins of every nerve, all the origins with the exception of cranial nerves, originate in the spinal cord. This is a good picture because it gives you a good example of how your nervous system is organized. And I don't know how much you complicate things when you're looking at things, but if you look at a diagram like this, you go, oh my gosh, how am I going to memorize all this stuff? You don't necessarily have to. If you understand naming, and you understand what you're looking at, these are, and I'm going to go over this in just a second, but this is your spinal cord, obviously, and this is C4, 5, 6, 5. Yep. 1. This area that's coming off the spinal cord here that looks like bundles of nerves or networks is called a plexus. And all of your nerves, except for the nerves in your thoracic region, form plexuses. And plexuses cover regions, and they're named for their regions. This is the brachial plexus right here. The brachia refers to arm, so that's how you should try and remember them either in this class or moving forward. What?
What is that? There's like a line section, the rib cage, that is off center. Is that like a nerve or is that?
You mean like this?
Yeah.
No, I think these are just abbreviated. Or these would extend all the way through your region. So I guess it's not that crazy. Okay. The lowest section of the spinal cord is called the cauda equina. And cauda is spelled C-A-U-D-A, so that's it spelled incorrectly. But cauda means what? What does cauda mean? How about equina? What does equina mean? Horsey. It means horsetail. When you dissect your cat and you get to this area, you should be able to get some of the cauda equina out. When we go to Solano College, the nerves which are covered with dura matter are very, very durable. You're cutting through your cat, not necessarily your shark, but when you're cutting through your cat, you come across something that's rather tough. It's either going to be a tendon or a nerve. And if it's tough to cut, it's probably a plexus, a whole bunch of nerves intertwined together. The whole key to dissecting, now that we're getting to expensive specimens, is to take your time. What's going to happen is if you're with a bunch of people who are just hack away, you're not going to have really as much fun.
So, are we going to have more time to do it?
Yes. We're going to take, have we ever rushed through this section?
Yeah. The pickle one. The frog. The frog was definitely rushed.
Okay, so here's now this. I didn't have this discussion with other classes, and why I'm having the 5, I don't know. But there were people all the way through and people halfway done. And you know, when we're doing dissections, you have to try to be here.
Because you're a hacker awayers.
You're picking partners.
I have a good partner. We dissected the frog.
Okay. Remember that the spinal cord and the brain have both gray and white matter. The specific job of white matter in the spinal cord is simply nerve conduction. And white why does that make sense? Why is white matter white? Because, no, it's avascular, but what's it covered with? Begins with an M. It's covered with myelin, so it appears to be white. And myelin is the covering for the conductor, so white is for nerve conduction. Gray, the gray matter is where inputs will be received and reflexes happen. The reason I don't like to use the word decision is because everything that happens in your nervous system is not a decision by your nervous system, it's a reflex by your nervous system. Does that make sense? Because you don't decide to increase digestive juices or decide we need to kick some sugar out of our liver because we're running low, or decide to take your hand off of a hot pot. It's a reflex. So what's happening is something's happening in the environment, your sensory neurons are picking it up, it's going to the gray matter, and the gray matter reaches a threshold. Remember the way the nervous system conducts, it has to reach a certain threshold, and then a reflex happens where adrenaline goes up, or heart rate goes down, or your pupils dilate. Any one of those things are reflexes. Now, your body doesn't decide for you, it reflexes. It has a reflex to an input. Okay, speaking of reflexes, reflexes are involuntary and very fast. And it's just, a reflex is simply a response to stimuli. So how does your nervous system work? Your nervous system responds to stimuli. Where are you supposed to really sit? Get over there.
Okay.
No, I don't want to talk to you.
What are you doing for Peloton today?
I'm having a barbershop head sing for my wife.
I use that.
It's only $40. It's four little guys that, they'll be right on, it was right there in the grapevine. Yeah. So I got one of them. I got a 3:30 tomorrow. They're going to sing 2 songs to her.
You just sing a Marvin Gaye song.
It's so cute when you
I can do a lot of things, Harry, but I can't sing.
No, not you. The guys.
Oh, there are a bunch of,
What are they gonna sing?
I said, I asked what they're going to sing. She goes, it depends on what they feel like. So remember that acronym same. Sensory, afferent,
You're paying $40.
motor.
That's promise for you tomorrow.
Same as sensory, afferent, motor neuron, efferent. So remember, touching hot pot, S, afferent to the central nervous system, motor neuron to the effector. Afferent, motor neuron. Okay, spinal nerve. We have 31 pairs, and they're named according to the region. So just write 31 pairs, and I'll give you the pairs that you need to memorize. We're almost done. I told you it's only 20-some minutes later. So 31 pairs. 8 of them are cervical, 12 are thoracic, 5 pairs are lumbar, 5 pairs are sacral, and 1 pair of coccygeal nerves. And they're all named, as you move forward in anatomy and science, you won't be calling them cervical vertebra or nerves, you'll be calling them C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. So forth.
And T1, T2, T3.
Right, exactly. Cervical are in the neck region, thoracic are in the thoracic region, lumbar in the lumbar region, sacral and coccygeal are where there's
Cox and Joe's for play, huh? Is that your tail? I was going to say Cox.
right. And the nerve, the regions that they innerviate are also named that way with their plexuses.
How would you abbreviate those?
You would say Cox.